Here we go. Here we go. Event is starting. I think we are live. No? Yes. I think we are live. Are we?
This is waiting for.
Yeah, okay. There we go. All right. Everything's working now. Everything is working. How do we do this? Oh, that's my own sound. I need to turn that off. All right. Cool. Now, what do I have this background for? Let's turn that off. that was a what was this? A Lamborghini on Mars or on the moon? Right, why not? Go big. All right, let's see. I have to pull up the chat.
Like a 20-second delay.
All right, I have a 20-second delay, my brother says. And let's look at the chat here. So, tak takata, takaka. That's a funny name. You're asking, is it better to deposit to other websites from GDAX or Coinbase? Well, GDAX will have if you sign up for Coinbase and then you use GDAX, you'll have minimal fees like that. And you could Google how to do that for sure. Another option, what you asked also for taxes. You mean fees? I mean taxes, you got to pay taxes regardless. Coinbase will submit your information to the authorities, is my understanding. So, how's the stream, guys? Can you guys hear me? I know there's a lag.
It's good. Taxes? You mean fees?
Turn that off so that I can,
It's good.
so it won't hit here. Yeah,
You didn't post on Facebook.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then how do I see the chat? Oh, there it is. Hell yeah. All right. Thoughts on decentralized internet coins? You have to be wary of everything and anything. Everything is experimental. So all these coins, everything, so far the only use case for all these cryptocurrencies is basically money as a currency. Bitcoin, right? That is the number one use. Everything else, I mean, like Ethereum, for example, is trying to do a lot of different things. But still, the only thing we've gotten out of Ethereum are ICOs and CryptoKitties. Like, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt. those are the only things right there. Hello, some guy. You are just some guy. I have my friend who just messaged me. He's asking. Oh, let's turn this thing on. Yeah, better. All right. So he's asking me, what is Bitconnect? Bitconnect, huh? So Bitconnect is a Ponzi scheme. Um, you will make money from it until they exit scam. Your money will be locked up with them. So you do not want to get involved with Bitconnect. that is the end of the story there. You just do not want to deal with it. People will be, if you see someone shilling Bitconnect, they'll have referral links and all this stuff. Just stay away. Stay away. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. Let's see. All right. Juanissimo Robert he's asking, since crypto is not attached to commodities, what is it stopping it from crashing apart? Well, so there are a lot of different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is considered, in my opinion, it's a commodity. So that is a commodity in itself. And since the CME futures started, they listed Bitcoin as a commodity, which is fir- the new the first time we had a new asset class in 40 years. What is stopping it from crashing is the fact that it's both digital and rare, in the sense that, sure, it's digital. You think that you can have millions of Bitcoin. Well, you can only have 21 million, and there's only about 4.5 million Bitcoins left, and there's 7 billion people in the world. So the price of it is generally going to go up in the long run. That's not saying that it's not going to crash ever. No, there's probably going to be multiple bubbles and busts, but the general trend line is going to be up. So it's just going to, I don't think we're at mass adoption yet. People are not using Bitcoin to buy, to just use, to buy products with or anything. It's very, very early stages. So people that also think that it's too late to get into Bitcoin, I mean, in the broad scale, it's not. Unless Bitcoin fails in some crazy way, it's still early stages. But people have really bad security practices. They're gonna lose their Bitcoins. They're gonna get hacked. They're gonna get phished. They're gonna get they're going to be victims of scams, and they're not going to know that they're not going to be aware of how to protect themselves. So there's a lot of education that needs to happen, and that's why I think S-curve adoption, in terms of S-curve adoption, let me show you a photo here. And this one is decent. Here we go. I have to post, maybe I'll show this one right here. Sorry guys, I'm figuring this out. Screen share. All right. And I'll move myself. Just need to move myself. Boom. All right. So we're in the early, I believe we're in the early stages for all of this. You see, this is the S-curve. It's called the S-curve. And we're starting to go up, but I think we're still in the very early stages. But after Bitcoin goes it becomes really expensive. I mean, who knows? It could be like $1 million for one Bitcoin one day, right? By then, the volatility will stabilize, and it'll probably just plateau, and it won't keep going up and up. But this is something to keep an eye on. And here's another cool image. Maybe this one is more interesting. It just shows how everything goes vertical. Once it takes off, it takes off. And that's why I think we're at that very early stage where things are taking off. Oh boy. Is Bounty 0x a pump and dumper? Okay. So Bounty 0x went up because what I understand from it is that Ether Delta was hacked a few days ago. Not hacked, but let's just say it was hacked, which is a decentralized exchange. The website was made in such a way that you can lose your money if you went on it, right? And I believe Bounty 0x was involved with providing a bounty for finding the hacker who made that happen. And today, someone said that they found the hacker, and then I believe that's why it started pumping. But I'm not 100% sure on that. You can verify. A lot of these coins are pump and dumps. They look like pump and dumps. It's really hard to tell what's real. There's like a lot of scams. There's a lot of scam coins. Let's see. Mejia is asking, what should I do if I plateau on the recommended routine? My progress is really slow at the moment. Well, I don't know which part are you plateauing in. If you feel like you're just not progressing, it's easy to, I mean, It's easy to just add one set. So instead of doing 3 sets of 8, as it's in the recommended routine. By the way, guys, if you're not sure what he's asking about, the recommended routine is on our Bodyweight Fitness. If you go to the sidebar, there's a our Bodyweight Fitness routine. It's basically a strength training routine. It's calisthenics oriented. And, you know, if you're stuck on, let's say, 8 pull-ups, 8, 8, 6, just add like another set. So you're doing like a 4th set. And then maybe you're basically increasing the volume, the amount you're doing. And that might help you break through out of that plateau. It does help to change things up, rep ranges and all that. So, yeah.
You want to change your background?
Let me see here. Oh, I still have this background. Let's go back to that. All right. 12 gauge DJ, link for the last image. Just go to Google Images and type S-curve adoption and you'll find it. It was like right there on the first page. Casey Smith, I keep getting this intense. He says, I keep getting this intense pain, like a pinched nerve under my right shoulder blade when I run. This only seems to happen while running on a hard surface. It is debilitating and I don't know what to do. I mean, that's really hard to say. It could be so many different things. It's hard to give medical advice on the internet. It's not recommended. You should go to a physiotherapist. There are some stretches that can help, possibly, but you're saying it's a pinched nerve. That's, you know, it's tough, man. It's really tough to know, but you're gonna have to figure it out. I would say try to I don't know if you stretch, but stretching your shoulders, shoulder blades, the rhomboids specifically come to mind, which it's a tough thing to do.
Foam rolling?
Yeah, foam rolling could help. I don't know if you do that. Foam rolling, if you have a foam roller, you can foam roll over your upper back. That feels really good. Other than that, you can use the lacrosse ball. You can use the lacrosse ball to basically self-massage your traps, your upper back in between against the wall. I have a video on lacrosse balls, how to use them for self-massage. Also, I have a video on how to use foam rollers for self-massage. They are older, but they are still very, very much relevant as I use them almost every day. Very important if you do any sort of training. My opinion on Ripple as an investment. Listen, if you're going to invest in anything, basically just put it aside and don't look at it for a long time. I'm talking like 2 to 3 years. Ripple is a mixed bag. It's such that people hate on it because, you know, cryptocurrencies are such that they're supposed to be separate from the banking system or dismantle and disrupt the banking system, but Ripple is working with the banks, so people have a lot of beef with that. They don't like that idea, but I think it has a lot of potential. I don't personally have any Ripple. This is not financial advice, but with the way things are going, it's just like money is probably going to pour into it. They're going to have a lot of partnerships. I don't know what else to say, honestly. Let's see. RJ says, I've been fascinated with Qigong for the past few months. It's helped tremendously with my well-being and workouts. Do you have any experience with Qigong? Yes. Reconnection successful. You guys see my stream?
It's still loading.
I wonder if you loading it is making a difference. By the way, when you're eating those crunchy sounds.
Yeah, I'm done.
Nice. Am I back online?
No. But it's a good point on like hogging bandwidth. Or...
Put it on low quality. What are you on? HD? For like the lowest.
Yeah.
Alright guys, can you see the stream? Because I think I cut off majorly.
I'm not seeing it.
It says that it's streaming. Is it actually streaming? I hope it's streaming. Why are there always technical difficulties? It's 2017.
It says that it's streaming. Alright. Is it actually streaming?
Is that... It just came on? Great.
I hope it's streaming.
Awesome. Oh. Alright, bro. Mute that. Mute that. I made you a moderator, by the way. That's my brother on the side. Okay, so back to the question. Grandi was asking that, you know, how do you make... He finds life boring. I mean, honestly, you just got to find hobbies. You got to keep doing things until you find what you like to do. That's all I got to say. I mean, what else can we do, right? Just keep trying and trying. I mean, what's the other option? What's the alternative, right? I mean, if you got this one life to live, just try to make it the best you got. I mean, what else can we do? If you love writing fiction, do it. Just keep doing it. If you don't know how to make it a profession, I mean, you're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to keep trying, and you don't give up. People will hate on you, or people will not hate, but maybe demoralize you. They'll say this isn't good or whatever else. Just, you know, get a lot of different opinions and ask people to be honest. Sometimes people are just nice and they're saying, yeah, this is good, but they're, you know, might be not so good. And you need to find people that will criticize you constructively. Find people better than you. So if you're into writing fiction, find other fiction writers. Get into groups for writers so that they can read your stuff. They could criticize it. You basically have to find people better than you. Surround yourself with people better than you, and they'll lead you in the right direction. Find people more successful than you. So whatever it is that you want to get better at. And you can ask them, how did you make writing into a profession? You know? They'll tell you. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Mark, are there any things you would do differently with your channel in hindsight? Marketing, content, viewpoints, burnout, finding outside help, anything at all? All right, that's a tough question. You know, as I'm doing more and more, I'm finding... So me personally, I love to do everything myself. A to Z, I love to do everything myself. And I'm getting to the point where I can benefit from, instead of doing the video editing myself, I could benefit from maybe hiring a video editor. Before I was shooting every video myself. Now some videos that I want to be done very professionally, I'm hiring a cameraman to shoot for me. So it's an evolution, you know. I couldn't do that all. Maybe I should have done that in the beginning. Not really. I couldn't really afford to do that. I mean, it's a lot of cost, you know, to hire other people, but the quality of work becomes better. And then what else I would do differently? I would post a little more regularly. I would plan everything out better, and just make content more consistently. I think that's the only difference. But at the same time, it's tough to just... I couldn't just make content just to make it, you know. I had to be inspired to do it. I couldn't just force myself. So make myself bigger. Yeah, I'm bigger now.
It says volume's low.
No, that's fine. All right, BTC and free fall. All right, that's good to know. Bitcoin will definitely go down. What goes up must come down, right, guys? Do not be... I mean, what else? What else is going to happen? It's just cyclical. People are going to take profits. It's not going to keep going up forever. Don't be afraid, though. If you're in it for the long run, then you're in it, you know? You're going to have to tough through it. Life is a journey of misunderstanding. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, as long as you learn... Volume is low, then I can do this maybe. Is that better? Hopefully this is a little better volume. Anyway, yeah, life is a journey of misunderstanding. As long as you learn from your lessons, right? I want to ask you this question. With the recent stuff, everyone's into crypto. I'm also one. However, once you're in it, you realize every coin has a unique purpose. What I want to ask is, with every coin having a specific purpose, how will people keep up with them? Can you really use all the variety of coins for them? Will they merge into a coin? Okay, so that's a big question. You know, all these coins have a supposed purpose. They have a purpose that they are supposed to achieve, but they're not there yet. They're all a dream, okay? And developers, they want to do that. They want to do that. Like, some developers are trying to really change the world. You know, some people are visionaries and they see that certain things can work. A lot of them are gonna fail. I'm talking like 99% of them. This is the reality. So a lot of people compare the dot-com bubble with the current Bitcoin or crypto bubble. Here's the difference. Here's the more specific reality. Think of Bitcoin as Amazon, and then think of the 1,000 other cryptocurrencies as the 1,000 other websites that had nothing to show for it except just a website or a white paper in this scenario. So yes, the dot-com bubble went up, 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 and then anything that had nothing of value behind it to show for it collapsed. But what did Amazon do? Did Amazon take a hit? Yes, Amazon took a hit. But then it went up far greater, and Google as well, far greater than anyone could have imagined. And what started with as books became just anything and everything. So, you know, it's not really possible to keep up with every coin. Most of them, a lot of them are nowadays are being created with only the intention of making money. So they're being hyped up. They might have a use for it, but it's really dicey, really risky. All of it is risky. Even Bitcoin is risky. If Bitcoin loses its censorship resistance quality, it's game over. Not just for Bitcoin, it's game over for everything, all those cryptocurrencies, because none of them have withstood the test of time. Okay, it's a risky thing, but it's also an opportunity of a lifetime if it's successful. So, you know, you gotta keep everything in perspective here. How do I stay motivated? I do the things that I love. I'm very picky about what I do with my time. I make to-do lists. That helps a lot. Every morning I make a to-do list because that keeps me on track. If if my brain is really frazzled and I can't figure anything out, maybe I'll go take a shower. Maybe I'll go take a walk. You know, when you go in the shower and you got nothing but you and the water, you get those shower thoughts, and then all of a sudden you know what you want to do. Sometimes that helps, you know. What are my current views on steady state cycles? In regards to steady state cycles, you mean you mean like for training, like yeah, that's probably what you're referring to. They're great. They're great if you're doing a disciplined. So I have an article on steady state cycles. If you guys are not familiar or you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's basically if you're doing a straight arm exercise like a planche related, or sometimes with front lever, although front lever is not that taxing on the elbows. Back lever especially, iron cross, anything that's a straight arm strength exercise that could be really tough on the elbows and shoulders, it's great to implement a steady state cycle. It's a great way to go about it. It's a safe way to go about it. All right. So next question: what's your ideal week like? Nutrition, meditation, social life, work life. Okay. Big question. Nutrition nowadays is such that I'm following the lean gains type of program, where it's basically low carb. So I did the ketogenic diet for like a year and a half, like super strict, which is basically a very low carb diet. And the problem with the ketogenic diet is that it's not perfectly suited with society, social. You know, a lot of social events are revolving around food, right? So that's very limiting. You can still make it work, but the compromise I found is the lean gains style, where on workout days you can have slightly higher carbs. I'm not going super high carbs, moderate amount of carbs. And then on non-workout days where I don't do any intense strength training, I try to eat low carbs or ketogenic style. And then meditation, I try to just fit in just a few minutes a day. It's not something I'm trying to do like 30 minutes a day. I don't know. It's just like less is more in a way, you know? Just as long as you do it consistently, don't psych yourself out like you gotta be in a perfect position and do it for a long time. Just like keep it simple, you know? And then social life, you know, go out once a week or every other week. It depends. I go out to Muscle Beach a lot, and that is a part of my social life in a way, because there's a lot of people I know there, and that's really fun. And work life, it's basically I'm on the computer like many hours a day. That's just a lot. That's just and I balance that out by doing a little bit of yoga or some sort of movement related exercise or strength training to change it up, or even just go for a hike. Anything that connects you with nature. Maybe go surfing, go slacklining, anything that will change it up from, instead of looking at a screen, you know, you got to keep it balanced, right? Let's see. Tigar, how long have you been interested in cryptocurrencies? Basically, since the start of this year. Time is the most valuable asset. Nobody is more richer in time than another. I agree. One more question. So nearly all coins are saying decentralized, and now there's Ripple, which is in a way is going to replace Swift as a system. What do you think? Yeah, that's an issue. That's why a lot of people, I mean, it could work. We need something that provides interoperability between banking systems and cryptocurrency. If something can figure that out, if there's a technology that can connect the two things, that can meld what we have currently and what is, you know, what is with the blockchain, something that melds the two together, that would be great. So there's like the third generation blockchains like Cardano, for example, that are basically trying to solve that issue. Those are very early stages too, though, so we don't know. These are all big experiments. Decentralized is like a big buzzword. You'll see that, you know, in every white paper. Do you find working on the computer during sunny days daunting? Yeah, yes. What I try to do is I try to go out. I try to go out during sunset or before sunset. I try to catch what's known as magic hour. Magic hour is that time. You can look up, there's a Wikipedia article on this. It's called the golden hour. You know, when it's the best time for photography. And when all the colors, you see all the prism, the spectrum of the sunlight. That's my favorite time to be outside. When it starts getting darker, the sun is about to set or is setting, I get out. I go for a walk. I walk the dog. I do something. I go to the beach or, you know, something like that. And that is very important for me. I love to do that. I think that's the best time because it's, you know, when you feel it's getting dark inside the house, it's dark inside, but it's still bright outside and super colorful. You know, I feel depressed if I stay inside. So that's just me personally. I like to go outside then, and that's how I keep it balanced. Um, Mitchell. Mitchell Howie, you meant in regards to front lever or planche for the steady state cycle. Yes, I would apply it for the planche, especially if you have any elbow issues or you're new to straight arm strength training. For the front lever, it's not really necessary. If you start feeling any elbow issues, then yes, it would be necessary. Everyone's a little different. So, any other questions here? If not, then... Oh, we have something here. One for the daily life. I had a system to reset my sleep cycle. But I overused it and now I'm constantly moving my sleep cycle several hours every day. How can I fix it? I don't know what you mean. You overused it. It moves. Oh, it moves. Well, yeah, that's tough. I mean, is it because of work? Is it, you know, some things are out of your control, I'm assuming. The best thing I found is to basically sleep at the same time, around the same time. That's like the only way I found that works well for me. Bless you. My brother just sneezed. Let's see. Rotator cuff injury or tear. Yeah, see a physical therapist, you know, work with them. You're gonna have to have a resistant band. You're gonna have a resistance band, like a TheraBand. You're gonna have to do a bunch of mundane exercises, very, very boring, repetitive. Um, very, you know, like you're basically just gonna have to do a lot of exercises that don't aggravate your condition. So you can even Google image shoulder rehab band exercises, right? And you'll see a bunch of ways to do certain things. You can do just a bunch of those that don't hurt, but you might, you know, that's tough. You should also do that alongside with a physiotherapist that will guide you, right? Because a lot of people don't know exactly what they're doing, but you know, it's very simple. If your body is saying this hurts, don't do that. If you're able to do something that retrains your brain and you're like, oh, I can move the arm now, this doesn't hurt. If it retrains your brain to not associate shoulder movements with pain, that's good. And it's a long process, but you have to trust the process as well. So you can go for maybe weeks or months with a rotator cuff injury and your shoulder is in pain and you might think the exercises are not helping at all, but they might be helping, and you have to just not get impatient with them. It might take many months. You might go to a doctor and they might say you need surgery. They might say go to a physiotherapist and then maybe you might need surgery. You want to avoid surgery unless it's such a condition where surgery is the only thing that will help. Even if you have surgery, so even if you were to have shoulder surgery, you would still need to do those same rehab exercises for months afterwards. So you might as well try to avoid surgery, getting cut up best you can. Heal it the way you can. Ahmad is asking, what cryptocurrency are you optimistic on for 2018? Wow, that's a big question. I mean, if you want me to just that's I'm just gonna say Bitcoin. I'm somewhat of a Bitcoin maximalist. You know, there are so many coins out there. I'm not. So many of them have so many risks associated with them. They're all trying to do so much. Like Omise Go, if they do what they say, if they are able to bank the unbanked, for example, they will succeed very well. Ethereum, a lot of people love Ethereum, but Ethereum has a lot of issues that you never know what will happen. This is high risk, you know? Someone could code something using Ethereum and there might be a bug that makes a lot of people lose their money. So far, you know, there's just so many holes, and this is really the wild, wild west, as they say. I'm looking down a list of these coins, and they're all questionable. Bitcoin is the only thing that makes sense to me at the moment, until something else proves otherwise. There are some other ones, like a lot of people like Walton Chain and V Chain, but you know, those might work great. 0x was going to be used for decentralized exchanges. That might be great. A lot of people are bullish on Power Ledger, but here's the problem. If one day Bitcoin has rootstock, which enables smart contracts to be built to be layered on top of Bitcoin, what happens to all these other coins? Bitcoin will just overtake their capabilities. Why would someone use a different coin when Bitcoin might be able to one day do what they are trying to do, right? This is the problem. A lot of these things might have a utility, which is questionable, or they might not. So that is a big problem. John Mardirosyan, I'm looking to do middle splits. I've gotten a lot better. I'm less than 10 inches from the ground. Any suggestions on how to keep improving? Oh, nice. 10 inches. That's pretty good. That's very good. I got to that level in my middle splits just from doing horse stance and going wider in my horse stance. I would say do straddle ups if you're not familiar with straddle ups. They are very, very cool. Let me see if there's a good video of them. I'm gonna show you right here. Screen share. Here we go. That's a straddle up. Oh no, that's not a straddle up. That's a pike straddle. That'll improve your straddle compression. No, that's something else. It's gonna be tough to find one, I think. It might be this one. Okay, so whatever he did like that with his hand assisted, if you can do that without using your hands, that's what you should go for. Also, another thing that will help a lot is basically do your middle splits with a light weight. That is probably going to be very helpful. So if you just like get a 5-pound, like you get 5-pound whatever, it doesn't have to be a weight. I mean, it could be like a dumbbell or something, you know. I mean, not a dumbbell. It could be like a water jug, anything. Anything that's a little bit of weight, 5 to 10 pounds. Start low. Less is more. It's gonna force you to go down. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. What a typical time. He's asking, I'm Armenian. Yes, I am Armenian. Via says, I'm nearly convinced that I need surgery, but obviously don't have the money. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a tough thing. I mean, go to you. Don't give up. Go to someone that knows what they're doing. Go to multiple doctors and get different opinions. If you go to a surgeon, you know, their job is to do surgery. They're gonna want to sell surgery to you. So they're gonna everyone has a bias. So be a little bit skeptical of anyone and everyone. Akrafis, how about being hunchback? Can you recommend any daily routines to help or fix it? Honestly, doing yoga regularly, whether it doesn't have to be in a Just do yoga regularly is my easiest suggestion. There are a lot of videos online. I'm also starting a yoga video challenge January 1st. Should be the first one. And then, but if you want to go to a yoga studio, there are many studios probably where you live. You can also look up donation-based yoga studios if money is tight. There's usually something like that. You can Google. And yeah, once you're able to figure out how to do yoga on your own, it's like a life lesson that stays with you forever. So that skill transferability is super worth it. That's my um, that's my suggestion. Sammy P is asking, base or fly? I'm a base, so yeah, I'm a base, and I fly a little bit. I'm not a great flyer, but yeah. Ahmad says, I feel like Bitcoin's destined for failure at the moment. Their transaction time and fees are absurd. I do think it has potential in terms of valuations, but they definitely